There is a geomagnetic storm as I speak, right? And we're approaching a full moon, okay? And we have this devil's comet energy. So I feel a calling to suggest to you that you bring in the light and engage in a mind control deprogramming exercise of your choice. I can make some suggestions, but I already have. Check out today's podcast on Substack. That part has been done. This video will contain no observations of specific details of our reality, but only the comment that your aura, that field around your body, as the planet has a field around it, becomes activated as the sun becomes active. And there are various exercises that you can do that are easy, that are free, that don't cost any money to get the energy going. You are free to disagree. You are free to think this is gay. You are free to be in a low vibrational state. You are free to hit the back button. You are free to dislike. But some of you actually appreciate somebody who's aware, again, we weren't going to get specific, of issues, that also believes in being in the heart. Whereas many people that say that they're in the heart, once they get political, in my opinion, they really don't seem to have any idea what they're speaking about. And it's really almost as if they're doing more damage than good by even talking. Okay, so palm to palm. Just exercises, qigong. You can watch tutorials on YouTube on how to bring in this energy into your body. Obviously, there's people out there that think that this is demonic. This force comes from God. This sun comes from God. Okay, we have not gotten into this yet in my videos. Okay, so deep breath. We already talked before about deep breathing. And then after holding it for 8 to 10 or more counts, and then a gradual exhalation. So this is happening again because there is a geomagnetic storm, and I am of the current perception, regardless of your opinion on it, that when there are geomagnetic storms, we can access higher spiritual truths and that inner spark within us because we light up. We can also come under demonic attack, and those demonic attacks can accelerate when we are activated. And I can talk about this in real time and see it happen in minutes, and that's what happened the other day at the hotel. And I had a choice to make in the following hours. You can stay in this frequency or evolve beyond it, because they were trying to implant fears in me too, which were making me angry. People might make you angry too if you become afraid when you see threatening actions. So I understand why some of you do what you do out of fear because of the trauma and the moving of people around the world and the wars, but it's not always justified how we respond and judge. Okay. My cat is out here walking around. So I'm going to talk about meditation, and I want to lightly discuss issues without sounding political. Just listen to music to stay inspired, not getting a copyright strike. You need to bring in the light during this time when you're living in a consciousness dead zone, and you need to get into a space where you want to read my words and admit to yourself why you don't want to read blogs, but you like books. So get yourself a copy of Solar Wars 2025 now for $12.95. This is a demo copy that I bought for myself for like a few bucks. A rough draft copy. And in this, I've got areas where I did some last minute editing on the day of the show. because I created it fast, threw it up with some, you know, programs in which I edited on. One for the ebook, one for the physical. Without doing a deep dive and correcting all the grammar, I wanted to preserve it with its imperfection because we are imperfect, but it's in the imperfections sometimes that the truth comes out by allowing us to draw outside the lines. This is going to be a deeper than normal video, mixing a couple elements together. Let's see. So this is one. Some people may feel that they're being gang stalked and observed when cars drive by slowly and creep. Right here, cars drive by and they creep. And it is kind of how some people are when they're on their cell phones. Some people display to me almost vampire nature of not even seeing someone or me, but acting like weird regarding their energy. Like energy vampirism, people being drawn to people that are light beings, people that are drawn to people that have intelligence, people that are drawn to people that are servants of God. We see evidence all around us. And so you can be a beacon of light in a consciousness dead zone. Take a deep breath and breathe in the light. And hold that light in your heart space. And expand that auric field beyond. And even imagine the people in your area becoming conscious of the reality that is taking place. Everybody becoming conscious. This is one of the things that I thought about in Bagosa. When I was up there off the grid and there was a certain amount of traffic that was driving by, back and forth. This is another exercise. Also, right? This one's obviously Tai Chi. There's also a Japanese version. I forget what it's called. It starts with an S. It's not Tai Chi, but it's a Japanese version of Tai Chi. Okay, and then we'll go over these movements. We're only 7 minutes in. We'll go over this again. So I'm getting some natural light from my aloe vera plants. Okay. And I'm charging my water with the sun. Okay. And as I told you, I'm trusting my intuition. I'm going to the grocery store at certain times and putting out there I want organic milk, a full gallon for cheap. But the problem was when I went to the store, the line was so long, I put it back. And the energies can be so disruptive in grocery stores that sometimes so this is the water. And this is a crystal. So yeah, I'm in an area where the energy is toxic. And I'm speaking like this, and words travel, and I'm telling you, I'm not living in fear anymore in the way that I have. I'll reel it back, but as far as like hiding my light, or that I'm a light being in a true sense, that's not going to happen anymore. Okay, it is actually like very horrifying to live in a reality where you're spiritual, and you have no one spiritual in the flesh to talk to. And a certain somebody was stalking me last year around May that was local, okay? They don't know my energy or power, but it's what activated, it's what caused that guy to do what he did. And there's video footage. Okay, what's happening now, right now in America are spiritual attacks. I made this in 2020. Nobody taught me how to make this. No one said this would help me. And I chose out of my intuition from Hobby Lobby the specific rocks. You know, I've watched plenty of white New Agers on YouTube. Found many of them attractive. Never seen any of them tell me to go out and do this. Go out and do this. Go out and do this. Go out and do that. And I'm told over and over, and I can see from the view count that their value is light years beyond mine. Or say someone that is African American, and their perceived value is a god or goddess. Whereas I've been discussing things for years, predicting many things that have come to pass. 100 views on this video. Folks, do you realize you're going to watch this and you're going to be a core part of a core 50 to 100, maybe 1,000. And that instead of the information that I've created, it generated invites to give conferences and talks to people for, say, 5 hours in, say, New York City with all expenses paid from someone intelligent that was guided to this channel? No. No emails come in. Nothing after the show. One comment. So, this is just an acknowledgement that we're still living in the dystopia, okay? One radio show did nothing. So you take a deep breath and breathe out that pain that we deal with every day. We have to bring in the light to counter the darkness that comes at us at night. Ooh. I know that turquoise and coral do go together. So this was made with about, this was from donate Patreon money. So Patreon subscribers, I have now this. I have Substack. But that's where this came from. Okay. The name slips me at the moment, but this is another one. So I noticed there's a lot of fake stuff at Hobby Lobby. So I was looking for natural stuff, and I Googled the names of some of these rocks. They also were selling a lot of fake turquoise. This is... When my mother visited, I gave her one that I made, and I thought I would give it to her because if you give someone something, even if you don't agree with them intellectually, if you give someone something and hope that they become conscious, that maybe they might have a rock, that maybe they will. I don't know. Then there's this. I made this. I forget what all the... Sugarnite. I bought a pack of Sugarnite wafers. And these are meant to be glued to your laptop. And even though I've been wearing the head thing for the hat, today I've been feeling like keeping the hat off. Let's go back. There are opportunities to truth your community in and around the eclipse, but be careful when startling the herd. So these are different ways of focusing, interlace this way, and then interlacing this way. From here to here, this is about clearing the energy, and then here we go. This gets the energy going along with these movements. So no one told me this. There's no book. Bruce Lee, if he did, I didn't read it, but I read his books. But going from this to writing, speaking, to certain movements. Another one might be, so I'm telling you, quick impulsive movements in between meditations. Certain combinations not normally taught. Okay? Or, if we're dealing with a whaler, so when we have this geostorm, reaction time is faster. Okay, physical strength is faster, all right? So, it's a rate higher than a minimum period. So is recovery from exertion. Like very quickly, even if you're up all night, which happened recently, up all night. Strength back, not normal. So, I need cardio. So I haven't done yoga, and Gypsy Fox thinks certain yoga positions might be able to draw in entities. And what I feel drawn, though, to talk about, like certain positions are stretching positions. So he's a fitness guy. Certain stretches regarding the lower back and stretching backward and forward, I think are important because we carry on our backs, I think, trauma and stuck energy. So the one I'll show, we already went through this. No, I talked about Vipassana before. We'll talk about that another time, but look that up and just already be practiced in observing your breath during geostorms when they're getting emotional, and sit through a half-hour S.N. Goenka lecture, right? He's a good Indian guy, not Osho. He might have some spiritual stuff, but he might have been a cult leader. Goenka's not a leader that I know of. So it's good to at least be exposed to Vipassana lectures to understand what it's about, to be breathing in a way to where you're completely non-reactive to the stimuli in your environment. I've been here for a while, and there's a level of cruelty and ignorance that's above and beyond that I'm not going to fully discuss until I'm rescued. I've asked God to rescue me, and right now he or it is silent. So I acknowledge that I could go out in a ball of flames in the coming months or years with the world events. So this is why we do what we do. It's not impossible that we are preparing for death. Don't tell me that I'm out of line right now. And don't even think it for a second. Because you are eventually going to leave this planet. Every one of you. And those that left this planet that listen to me now that are in non-physical form, you too need to join the light. Because we are not alone in this reality. So this is the yoga pose with a hand up and hand down. Just imagining a swirling ball of energy, of positive energy coming into your heart. There's no reason why you shouldn't be thinking about that. People are running around smoking cigarettes, drinking too much coffee. And on the coffee note, I suggest days in which you don't drink coffee. Or instead of drinking coffee, you just do a complete reset. And you don't drink coffee, you let your energy levels come back to normal. And if you are going to drink coffee, one of the things that I did is just switch brands and stay away from Starbucks. There's something really wrong with that. What did Gypsy Fox say? It's made out of GMO corn? Okay. That night when that situation was happening in the hotel, I was wearing my new necklace here, what I showed you earlier, and the turquoise necklace. I have a coral necklace that's just coral. So, new moon and full moon, and perhaps geomagnetic storms. I haven't seen anybody specifically say that I know, that I've read, say that solar flares activate crystals. I haven't heard anybody say that. But do they not? Have we never even, I didn't really talk about it with you. We haven't had this talk, son. We've talked about the wars. Crystals? Why not? Magnetism? I love comments. I so love comments. I just want you guys that comment to know that. The reason comments aren't open is because people have abused it. And I'm not into having a psychic link with people I haven't met anymore on the internet. That's why I left for 3 years. I didn't want to talk to you. I ignored people that were nice to me. It's not meant to, you need to understand. Some of us that are activating, we're having a hard time with technology. Did you ever hear this? We're 20, 30 years into the World Wide Web phenomenon, and I don't think it's good. I disagree with you if you think it's great. I think it's causing problems. And I actually know some of you agree with me, but maybe not when I get specific with how it's causing problems for you and me. You might just think, oh, it caused cancer. Oh, bad, bad, bad. Oh, bad. Can you be a little bit more specific? Most can't. I can. It's called entity possession of people that watch your content. Read the rant at Substack. We're going to keep this higher energy. Read the rant at Substack. Read it all. Okay. Should I even verbalize what I'm doing and why? And how it deals with the energy and a release of energy? Why just this? What? But no, I'm not anti this, but why just this? Why just this? I just don't. No comprende. Why just this? Why just ground and pound and this roll around? Why not this? What's wrong with a little bit of this and this and this and this? Okay, so we are back inside because power was needed. Lighting's not perfect, but we're doing this anyways. So it's ideal to get some sunlight and then to go back inside and then to get away from that sunlight and to write or do something productive and then to go out and get more sunlight if your genetics and your body can absorb that energy and use it for consciousness raising purposes. And what I do observe is people becoming very angry with me when I speak, when I'm heard, when I assert myself. And it's really about the vibrational field. And so people can become affected by it, agitated by it to the point where they even want to kill you. And I'm telling you right now, like, no, I'm going to tell you that there are people that live in my immediate community that might be killers, that are unstable. Okay, I already told you I'm not messing around, and I'm not happy with the audience right now for not doing its part to reach out to me and trying to help me write books. We're getting back, let's get back to meditation. See, I went back inside and I lost mine. So I just want you to understand, I'm trying to help us all prepare spiritually for whatever's coming at us. To keep back the voices in your head, you have to get a field around you. The voice in the head get us doing dumb things that weaken our field. Manly P. Hall had knowledge of this. I don't know what he said about entities, but so we're going to talk about grounding. Visualize yourself being grounded to the center of the earth. Well, as it turns out, no lighting is needed. So just visualize your root chakra being grounded to the center of the earth. And as you think about whether or not you want to participate, it's up to you. But I'm putting out this content for those that want to hear my voice, encouraging yourself being grounded to the center of the earth and being connected to something natural and not being programmed by this world, releasing your programming with a strong grounding cord, connecting your chakras to the center of the earth, sending down your trauma, sending down those entities that have ported to you. Like, become aware of them and command that they go down that grounding cord. This is one, of course, that there's videos you can learn about this. I have not come across, though, very many that detail it as well as I feel Leon did. I feel Leon's podcasts that he sent to me, that he shared with me, that he let me participate in 10 years ago were pretty decent. What I'm sharing with you, I learned from him. So you want to visualize that auric field around you being connected at the root chakra to this grounding cord, with your energy being sent, your lower energies being released down that grounding cord. Again, going back into breathing exercises, palm to palm. Continuing to breathe in and out, imagining a light in the center of your chest, your heart, your spiritual heart. Sure, you want your physical heart to be healthy, but you want to start bringing in more and more energy into the heart. And I don't have an official teacher. I'm just I'm talking on my wazoo. So just hit the back button and dislike if that's what you're into. I won't stop you. People of different zodiac astrological signs, and sometimes they're going to be turned off by water signs and other things that they won't admit. So bring in that energy. When this energy comes in, okay, going back outside, inside, sitting on the grass in a lotus position. Let's go back to grounding. Now visualize an energy coming up from the earth. It's a powerful grounding energy hitting the root chakras of your feet, going up through the energy channels to your knees, through the hamstrings, through the thighs, to the root chakra, activating the root chakra. Activating the root chakra, again, energy coming up, activating the root chakra. Again, picture like a maybe a red, pinkish, orange energy from the earth coming up through that feet channel, or another color, maybe turquoise, coming up, and even turquoise energy, grounding out energy that's not yours through your leg channels. When we're out and about, through energy and clothes that we wear, there's entities that attach these things. Again, putting things out in the sun, on the ground, is good for those things. Yes, I have read that sunlight is good for crystals. It's what it was is moonlight, sunlight, but I was specifically referencing early geomagnetic storms. I'm gonna guess yes. That might be a really powerful time for crystals and maybe the people that are wearing certain crystals. And I've had certain crystals that I found for cheap in Pagosa Springs at their Saturday market there. That I think that Oppenheimer Ranch had a table up for a while. If there's cool stuff going on in Pagosa Springs that I don't know about, that I've never heard of, that would be worth visiting if somebody would just like to tell me who's up there. But I have tagged my videos with Pagosa and other people for other people to find me. And if they're not here, then that's fine, you know. But I do miss nature, and I think that it would be beneficial for people to live in nature together and talk about spiritual things without necessarily having grid energy, okay? So deprogramming. I think this video should be kept down to a half hour or so, in fact. And if you want more of a rant from me, that's on Substack. Okay, so last thing I'll talk about is the rose meditation, okay? So just think about becoming aware psychically of the implants that are within your consciousness that you don't even know are there, that were put inside you. And visualize these being removed at this time, this mind control, as this energy comes in, this devil's comment, this eclipse, that you have a awakening. Visualize yourself having a accelerated awakening with this eclipse process. Every single day, wake up, and when the sun starts rising, look into that sun if your eyes can do it, if you feel like you can do it. Not everybody can look at the sun. It is a genetic thing. It's not true. It's not true that sun gazing will cause everyone to go blind. In fact, quite the opposite. Okay, there are certain things that are bad for your vision, certain medications. That's another topic. Okay. So I'm encouraging you, like, you want to start like 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Okay. Now let's practice some Vipassana right now for 2 minutes. I'm going to look at the timer. Observe your breath. Sit relaxed. You know, there's an aspect of your consciousness that won't shut up. Breathe in and out naturally through your nose and observe those thoughts that won't shut up. And ask yourself, are they your own? Let's have 30 seconds of silence. Always start with a deep breath just to get it going. Maybe a stretch, pop the back. And I always gotta do this. 3 deep breaths minimum. The best thing that a female can do for a male is not fellatio. It's giving emotional support, therapy, and back massages, okay? And the destabilization of the male today has to do with the abuse from the mother, which came from a loop effect of male-female abuse. The more you keep conditioning yourself, you're just male or female, is how long you're going to be under mind control. Sure, you got a penis and a vagina, but that's not your spirit. Okay. I don't like the idea of reincarnating as a female. The idea of sex with males as a female is appalling in my current state of understanding. So I can't have empathy. Let me just say this. I don't think I've talked to you about this yet. Oh no, maybe on Substack. A lot of you don't come to Substack because you have to have video. And I talk why I don't encourage that lifestyle. I totally encourage you evolving beyond YouTube only and totally bookmarking Substack and, listen. I want those of you that are more of the love vibration, that only listen to YouTube, to grow here. So breathe in and breathe out your YouTube addiction. Breathe in your ability to consume content on other platforms and your ability to bookmark the Substack now. And ask yourself now in the thoughts, why are you not subscribing to alexansary.substack.com? Why would you trust YouTube, who knows your name, who knows where you're at, the Google, but you'll have a subconscious feeling that maybe being subscribed to a Substack is a bad thing when it allows you to bypass AI. People have feelings and thoughts where they don't have rational explanations, where they can back up why they do what they do or don't do what they do. Okay, so there's a school here. This is a school. My videos are a school. And anyone conscious enough, magnetically drawn to me, can look into my work. And me 10 years ago, I highly recommend you mic check me from the oldest videos you can find. Understand people conspire to wipe me off the internet. Blacklistednews.com, Mr. Rogers, who helped found one of the largest neo-Nazi websites in the United States with another guy who's very famous. He's very famous for Elon Musk letting him back on Twitter after he was banned. Very, very famous, folks. It's amazing how many people act like they were normal folks 15 years ago. Then they ended up getting implanted by the entities. And then, so we're already off to issues, but I can't help every now and then between meditations discuss. See, this is the stuff that gets me banned, would get me banned from a meditation gathering, a church, rainbow family gathering, anything that you would say is full of love and light with your friends. This is why your friends would throw me out. Your friends at your backtalk party with your tiki torches. Once I'm doing a guided meditation, then I break out and start talking reality and going boom, boom, boom. I am a healer, and I'm here to say the things that no man is saying in this planet of 8 billion. But I'll take breaks, and we'll talk about the breath, okay? And you can practice certain movements while you're sitting. While you're at your office work, you don't have to be off grid to empower yourself with energy empowering exercises, okay? I don't think we went over this one. It goes quite a bit with the tune that I'm listening to. If you're able to go to YouTube and type in "hitting like Bolo Young," Bolo Young is not in it, but I got so inspired by Bolo Young, which got my attention. They made this awesome trance track that just goes on and on into whole other levels. Okay. Okay, so deep breath. Focusing on that light. Okay. Activating that root chakra. And if you're lifting weights and doing martial arts, this is the proper. But this actually has been warned against also because of the other forces that come with it. So be careful doing this stuff. If you're not of the light, you could be dealing with entities based on your hand positions. Like I'm just telling you right up. And some of you already knew that. Some of you already do it. Some of you are already like, hell, 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 war, war, war. But yet you can't stop watching Truth or Channels because there's a part of your consciousness that's willing to hear out another viewpoint. Then let's just kill everybody, judge everybody, and, go to hell and let God deal with us then. No, let's correct it now before we get there. When I said get to hell in the Substack podcast, I'm talking about before I get to heaven, helping in the cleanup process. Some people need to go, I don't mean to an eternal punishment, but to be in a reality that they help create. So if you're going to create a war zone, then shouldn't you be in it? You made your bed, you sleep in it. That's what happens to us, whether we like it or not. That's why we're on the earth. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And I want to get out. I want to get out because the future of this place is in peril. Okay, just stop. In. We're going the full hour. Expand that field. 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet, 11 feet, 12 feet, 13, 14, 15. Extend it. Extend it, extend it. And then bring it back. Bring it back just inches, a thin blue light, electric, right in front of your body, and pull it back in, away from your neighbors, away from your people, away from your roommates, away from the streets, and pull all your energy in and imagine yourself absolutely bulletproof energetically. Okay? And we're not doing any chakra spinnings here, but that's Leon stuff. We can do it another time. But you absolutely want to clear out your mind, just like you want to bring in the light to your mind and clear out that gunk. You don't want to ignore the mind. We want to be in the heart, but you don't want to ignore the mind. And a lot of people act like they're in the heart up here. They have something, a driver's seat, that they don't realize is there. And if that wasn't the case, a lot of these love and light on the heart folks would be calling out that BS that's up there. You got to be also up to push out. Okay? Tapping. This is tapping. This is where you start. This is about releasing anxiety, trauma. So during a geostorm, yes, tapping during geostorms. Forehead, right here. I did not start doing this until I made the decision I was going to come back to the internet 3 months prior. And I see people do it usually one side, and I'm just being creative and doing whatever the hell I want. Okay, right here. Right here. Then here. Collarbone. This supposedly is stuff that people swear by. But I just see them do it a certain way. Why do it this side? Why not also do it on this side just to keep things yin-yang balanced? Just like you want to focus on your strike this way and that way. And on that note, okay, let's go back to that. We're in the chair though, but this is just, you're preparing for that. You got one here and one here, and that's whoop, whoop, whoop in 0.5 seconds, 0.25 seconds, milliseconds, just whoop, whoop, and then gone. Whoop, no ground and pound, none of that, just whoop, 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 and then if you have a partner, this is the failure of today's men. Ah, man, I'm ranting. A lot of MMA guys aren't spiritual, and a lot of spiritual guys aren't into wanting to learn how to punch, not the ones I've met. The men that I've met are, Travis, you're good. There's not many guys I know. I have no male friends at present, 0. I have like people that I've been associated with. I really don't have any female friends either. Really don't have friends. But like Ryan, people that were close to me, friends I really began to call out all these different systems. Nobody can tolerate me in person. It's an energy. It's an energy even when you're silent, right? And I'm not ashamed of it, right? We're not all the same energetically, okay? If some people are jacked up at it, it's almost as if we were born on the wrong planet. And I consider that. Unknown energies that are intense are just automatically assumed to be evil and witchcraft to low voltage souls. Having a high voltage and having the power field is not evil. And it does freak out certain dogs. And I don't think that all dogs are ascended. I don't know what your opinion on that, but human beings that use their dogs as a spirit detector aren't the most conscious. Your dog that walks on 4 legs is in that spirit in that dog, right, is there for a reason. There are spiritual animals, but animals are here to learn. Some people, they actually may fall back into animal form through their animalism. Even if you're an animal worshiper, an animal lover, and I love animals. But I actually see animals as spirits that are learning. They're learning because they're on the evolutionary stage up. So I see my cat as going to be a human someday, or has been already. Sometimes I wonder if it's grandma. And there is another animal also that I do at times expose to the cat. Even though it's not in its disposition to be peaceful. I'm not going to assume that that's always going to be its disposition. I'm going to encourage peace between them. Okay? And I'm going to supervise. And when I realize that it's not working that day, then I separate. Right? But I do believe that This isn't some open borders like argument code for those who are like going, I know where you're going with this. I knew you're a snowflake. I knew it. Now, let's go back to meditation, bro. I think that's what I'm talking about. Breathe in. And breathe out that chattery, complainer that's constantly complaining when you're watching your favorite YouTuber that's just complaining for no reason, that just won't shut up. Deal with that critic right now that's criticizing your favorite truther, that's causing you to feel this anguish when you're watching your favorite truther. Why is that? Why does this chatter not stop? That's the voice in that program. Newsflash, sunshine, sweetie. It's not your neighbors with a CIA beam ray gun. It's something else. And I'm not like part of the problem of the world for being aware of this gnosis. Okay, so breathe in, be in the headspace, activate that light, and open up the trapdoor in your mind, as Leon put it. Picture yourself in a room, sitting on a chair. How about one of those nice leather chairs that doesn't break down every year? You gotta buy a new one, but nice, real cushy for the butt. You just sit in and go right in and be activated, like Flight of the Navigator style. Came out in 1986. Check that out. Watch it on YouTube. Sit in that chair in a spaceship of sorts in your mind, with this window out to the world in front of you. As you create a rose, just like the rose I described in our videos for your mind, and then use that rose to clean the screen in front of you. Windex, and then throwing out that rose out in front of you, and then seeing it blown up, hitting that. I'm doing this with visuals. I want an animator to take mine, because Leon learned it from others. Why can't I pass it on as he taught me? He never supported that idea, by the way, which is why I'm also kind of gung-ho about that. He actually told me, don't do this. Don't do that, bro. Don't talk about meditation on you. He did. And there's other reasons why we went like this. At least he told me what he did, and we got the warning, didn't we? Absolutely, I'm going to teach you what it taught me. Right here. And there's no danger in it. I refuse to even allow that into my consciousness. There's no danger in me teaching you how to ground, and he suggested something I won't repeat. I don't allow that. I reject that with the protection of Christ, which he never suggested. And in fact, no, just stop now. In the heart, certain practices some humans partake in, I'm not convinced are innocent. I have plenty of love in me, but there's certain things that I've wanted to do with certain women that I feel that God says, no, Alex, you're not meant to do that with women. It was asked to me a few times. It didn't happen. It did happen for a second. Then we're like, no, let's not. So I came to believe that certain forms of human sexuality aren't spiritual. And for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be. Whereas other things were, a little this, a little that. But certain things I think have no basis in spirituality. Have a basis as something else and are a transference of entities. The entities could convince people it's spiritual. And then fill their mind with pleasure to make them think it's spiritual. Why not go out with a megaphone and go, oh, and tell the truth about what's going on in this matrix? I showed a psychic my palm who said she was going to do a reading, and I was like, and she's like, so what can I do for you? I'm like, oh, I thought you were a psychic. I'm sorry. Because I am. Back button. I'm sorry, what? You have one unread message. I'm sorry, because I'm not clicking. I'm not reading certain messages at this time. Some I do and reply to that are friendly. Some I don't. I would love to hear the positive comments that are out there. However, I don't think that I want to psychically link and talk about this, that, and the other on this, that, and the other. Let's get a central theme down. What do we have? We got 15 minutes remaining. I'd like to go back outside, but maybe some of this should be done inside. This is a full moon period. And we want to activate your consciousness with light Okay, want to activate your consciousness with light? I've given you the tools. I've given you the knuckle dusters. I've given you the spring batons of the astral realm. I'm teaching you stuff people normally don't teach for free. I told you in past videos how to imagine a rose that you bring into your mind, that you magnetically draw those entities in your mind that you think is some CIA machine, which isn't, and you bring that in, that rose that you create through your will, and you banish them from your consciousness. Bam! You blast them out of your brain. You bring them into that etheric rose that you created, and you blast them off into some other space where they came from, or down the grounding cord as you ground and ground and ground and ground and ground and ground your energy field. And I told you in past videos, they're grounding mats. Grounding mats. I'm just going to have to make ongoing meditation videos. Alex Ansary meditation, date. Sacred cross. Sacred cross. Sacred solar cross. Used for counter nefarious purposes. It's not so flake 3 Antifa. No. Tapping into the ancestry and banishing negativity in the name of Christ. Affirming in the name of Christ that we will be protected in this world and the hereafter. Okay? And not being superstitious about certain things, but seeking the true light of the Creator and asking the Creator to send his angels of protection to us at this time. Okay? As that song says, send me an angel, send me an angel. And imagine literally ourselves being activators where we are. This is what I allowed myself to stay freely as that car idled, knowing they're listening to everything that I'm saying and judging me for it. Judge it. Go ahead and judge it. I won't listen to anybody's advice that says hide your light at this time and keep your voice down. No. They can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. We all these people acting like they're awake to what's really going on, but they're not calling out the conjunction of events. The wars, we had a staged event possibly in Moscow a day after I predicted a false flag on Coast to Coast. Side topic. Side topic. That'll be its own video. I can't stop myself from having these epiphanies pop up. I don't think I'm supposed to stop it, but I don't want to get emotional. I was right is what I'm saying. I was right intuitively what I was tapping into on Coast to Coast AM, and they're not even aware of it, and they don't even care. The producers of Coast to Coast don't care that I predicted a false flag the day before the event in Moscow. Just for those of you that are aware, I'm canceling my Coast to Coast membership. I'm hitting the back button. I'm done with them. I'm not tuning in. I'll never bother them again. It's not good energetically for reasons that I'm alluding to. Thank you for your patience and the things that I say, even though I wanted this to be completely meditative. So we need to be able to go into that cave in our mind, not just our room. Even when you're out there on the front lines, when you're waiting tables at Denny's. I don't know how you can do it when you're stripping at the club. Good luck with that. But they do. They go to that place in their mind, where they're not a slave. And the vast majority of humanity is being forced into a slave position because of its need for money, because of its grid-like reality. And I can't do anything to change that. And when the grid goes out, the plants are going out. People are going to be sick from radiation poison. I can't stop that. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything to create it. But that's where you're at. And there's plenty of people that aren't conspiracy tards that talked about this, like the dead Matthew Stein. And our days are numbered now. But maybe there's a power in your mind that can override the effect of radiation. I can't guarantee you that it won't. And I won't tell you to assume that this radioactive stuff that's coming from these wars are going to kill you. It's just, you need to know it's a possibility based on science. but we've seen articles about worms. I got to get out of here. There's a geomagnetic storm right now. It's totally normal to feel stuff. So don't act like feelings aren't normal. Because people that act like that are cyborgs. You understand? I'm so tired of people acting like they're awake and shit. You're not awake. You're not awake. If you hate human emotion, you're not against the machine. You are the machine, and you should own it. I can't help the fact that I have emotion, and I can't go along to get along in your system of destruction. So stop blaming me. If I can't just be in a Zen space and keep it, I can't talk and be thinking about anything. But yeah, the emotions that we're feeling aren't toxic. You need to stop brainwashing yourself. You need to deprogram from thinking that emotions are toxic. We need to allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling. Like, people are making a mistake. We want to ground out, but we want to feel what we're feeling. So you can have data come in that triggers emotions. Let the data come in and the energy come in that causes the ripple. From one plane to the other planes of reality, or chakras. Okay, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. What am I doing? See that circular motion? Fibonacci sequence? The numbers? So think about the planetary bodies. Now think about the human aura. Think about the 7 chakras and the 7 layers of the aura. So you have that first layer of the aura. You want to focus on that, bring it in, strengthen it, ground it, anything attached to it, bam, to the center of the earth. Bringing in that cosmic energy, activating that ground chakra, along with energy you're bringing in from the cosmos down your back channels. 1, 2, you should already know this. Most meditations on YouTube go all the way down, root chakra. I'm just passing on exactly how Leon described it and charged a fair share of woo, except for me. So thank you, Leon, at least teaching me for free. But I never felt that I learned everything from him and that was fair, and there are other techniques to incorporate. So you notice I'm coming to center here a lot. You might do this in your own life. Like, I'm not saying just do exactly. I'm just trying to lead by example and be a truther out there. I said this at the beginning. That isn't just physical world, fear, geopolitics, 9/11, but can also absorb this spiritual information, whereas a lot of spiritual people don't talk about the real world. Yeah, these are words that I said out in the open that people around me can hear. They can already think I'm a freak for being not like them. And sometimes people might hear what you're saying or hear you, but not what you're saying, and be like, wow, that guy thinks he knows something. Fuck you, dude. Nobody is of value in our community. And there is this attitude that's here. You're shit if you're here, dude. If you were somebody, you wouldn't fucking be here. Well, why would you be here? They asked me that at Rithko Steakhouse. Mary asked me that. It was the reason I got fired by John. Side rant. Just if you're somebody, why are you here? I'm trying to play Buddhist? I don't know. Mandala? I'm here. Like for lack of a better word, I hate to say the word begging. I'm not begging to you now, but you've heard about the begging Buddhists. They just have the bowl and they live off like the bare minimum just to sustain, and they have a spiritual practice. I'm that Buddha in digital form. I'm literally a digital shaman who actually believes in banishing demons and exorcisms, who believes in having the power. And I tried to get an exorcist on this show, and the vibe from him was caustic. Forget it. I promoted him enough. I don't need him. I took his advice to not use sage anymore, but I may pick it up again later. I use Palo Alto and a frankincense myrrh combo, 100-pack bundle bought for $6 on ETSY. Palo Santo, month's supply, $6. Rocks, crystals, bringing this into my life in the last year. Sugarite, always on the computer, in my mind, to help deflect from negative entities and energies. And now I do believe, and it hit me, the disturbances for electronics and phones during geomagnetic storms is the paranormal interference. And it's not limited to that. And they come right in and they implant someone said, oh, this guy is a light being. Oh, look at that guy's aura. Says the entity's attached to the manager of the hotel. Let's call the cops. We've got a light being here. We've got a demon being here. And this is what you've got to understand. There are human beings that are so overtaken by these entities. They believe in going to war and murdering and setting up people that are light beings that are demon slayers. That's what this comes down to. And I've straight up been called this. Well, I've come across people that are allergic to energy. And I'm telling you, if you go down this road of looking at conspiracies, it is parallel to dabbling with the occult. You don't know what you're dealing with. You want to look at the eye of the pyramid and ask who's controlling the show? You do that, you're going to be dealing with the force of Sauron looking right back at you. I see you. And as they look into the abyss, well, so should we be surprised when they manifest as the abyss that they've been looking into? Saw a pattern also with the guy at the hotel that flipped out on me and acted possessed. He was doing this. What is this? You know what this is. What is this? Oh, you know what this is. Everywhere. Everywhere on the earth, as I said in the podcast on Substack, if you want something more forward moving, pumping, loud, action-packed, arms flexed, prana, yang, go for that. You want the yin, mostly yin, softer voice, little yelling, feminine, not feminine, but positive, sacred feminine. I will make podcasts like this, right? So in this time approaching the eclipse, we want to deprogram from the mind control and admit that we have been mind controlled. So in the name of Jesus Christ or your Messiah or leader. So for those of you that are Muslim, may Allah free you from Shaitan's whispers. Okay, yeah, if you're not on your own exposing what they've done to foreign countries, you haven't completely dealt with Shaitan's whispers. Especially if you're pointing the finger at others and try to talk about this, that, religion, follow religion. No. How about just go out and be a good person? No. Your temple, your mosque, your this, your that. I'm not for banishing or trying to force, but I personally don't believe in going out and building buildings and then making everything about that building. How about go out and etherically create a building of truth or a body of work? I'm creating a body of work that's going to exist after buildings are destroyed in the future if human beings become conscious enough to preserve my work and teachings. And the moment you stop laughing at me for knowing I have teachings is the moment you will begin to grow to the next level and understand some of the things that I've told you for years has come true. And that's not by accident. And we don't want everything to come true. We want to actually work proactively to wake people up all the time as a spiritual practice to ensure that we have done everything to protect our daughters. And it doesn't matter if I don't have a daughter. I'm going to act as if I do have daughters in America that are worth defending. So you guys can laugh at me all you want, people of 2024. I'm not looking at your likes. I'm not looking at your dislikes. And I'm going to look for someone to take over my emails at this point on. Because I'm going into my cave, folks. I'm done. I gave you a trial run for 6 months. I'm going into the cave. Someone's going to have to monitor my emails. I'm not going to directly engage with the public moving forward. It's done. It's done. You want to contribute emails? I told you about the Substack comments when they're open, but you don't use it. No one-on-one. If you wanted to have a big group, there was the time to suggest that group, and nobody could do it. Nobody could say anything. So we are going to go into the cave together, and I'm going to instruct you on surviving the cave. I'm going to instruct you, and you're going to listen, and you're going to follow my instructions. Okay. You want to get out and go down the street and leave? Leave. But don't assume you can just walk back in that door. Don't assume you're coming back, because there's no guarantee that you're coming back. You go back out there one more time, and you go through that run one more time, and you let it trash your body and your mind, and you allow that infection to come in again in this election cycle, and there is no guarantee that you're coming back from what's coming next. You are either going to activate your senses and purify yourself like a crystal and run the show in your own consciousness, or someone else is going to do it for you. You are all advised to sign up to alexansary.substack.com. Okay? I think it's time to conclude this recording because now it's getting repetitive. Okay? But we're going to focus here on a Trinity. We want to see ourselves and our information and light, assuming you're a truther. Because I don't support at all just being silent, doing nothing. I will lead by example. I believe in visualizing our work and light and our solutions and ways of reforming this society if given the chance, and getting out to a larger world. Okay? And helping the women of 2075 and their men. To help the women is to help the men, to help the men is to help the women. Stop dividing the sexes. Stop thinking that there's a war of the sexes. There's only a war in our own mind against ourselves. The war against women, the war against men, the war against Afghans, the war against blacks, the war against whites, the war against blacks, the war against you and your children and your future. And don't you forget it. Visualize the solar cross from a spiritual, even pre-Christian, pre-Islamic perspective of the ancient world, protecting us and protecting our souls. And acknowledging, for those of you that are willing to believe, that we are from the spiritual realms. There's a lot you can learn from the never-ending story. It's not just a kid's movie. There's so much of the nothingness right now in our day and age, and with this eclipse comes the spirit of the nothingness. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, and if you've seen the never-ending story and you still have no idea what I'm talking about, you need an essay and a breakdown, and right now can't be that time. Right? But there is a nothingness, a hopelessness, a darkness that is increasing in the population. And when people share from the heart and they talk about the real things going on, and people don't support that, and the machine buries it and rolls back the view counts and does nefarious things, and the people still don't do things, no, they're not evolved, they're not in 5D, they're in the lower astral planes. Do not be surprised when our world is destroyed by hellfire. Okay, I'm not saying it's from God. That's not what I said. That's what some are saying. Don't confuse me with others. This is coming from the evil one, which now is in control of your governments. And so I'm telling you, prepare like your life matters. I can go on and on and on, but I think it's time to be mature about this. Stop recording. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do the following. I'm going to proceed to fill a 55-gallon water drum that I began planning to purchase for this time, that I spent more than it's worth, because we don't know what's going to happen in the coming months. Okay? I'm going to get necessary food, but I'm not going to go overboard. My physical preparation, there's very little that I can do that I haven't already done. The vast majority is spiritual, but you just can't run around completely naked with nothing. You can prepare spiritually, but zero preparation makes no sense. And you're also a hypocrite if you work every day, if you pay rent and you're not getting prepared. Every day you're preparing for next month's rent. Why are you preparing just to pay rent? You're a hypocrite if you're not getting prepared. You're getting prepared every month to pay rent. No, you're getting prepared every month to pay rent if you pay rent. No, you need to be getting prepared with food and supplies, because rent is not the only thing that you need to be thinking about. You need to be getting prepared. I'm Alex Ansary, reminding you, the path to the ultimate truth and place of power still lies within. Visualize your deprogramming, visualize your safety, and visualizing your light and positivity influencing and helping to teach the next generation that hasn't even been born yet. You can do it, Jedi, and I will be your life coach.